It's March 18th, 2012, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I could hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned, you just cringing.
And welcome everyone, welcome to episode 324 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman, and also on the show today we have with us GameKat. Hello, GameKat.
Hello.
We have Welshy with us. Hello, Welshy.
Hello.
And also with us is Ham. Hello, Ham.
Hello.
Hey, and so before we begin, let me remind you all that this show was recorded before a live audience of which you may be a part. Anyone can listen in and message about the topics as we discuss them, and for those topics that we do discuss, Welshy may or may not post a relevant URL into the chat window. It depends on whether or not he is able to, or his computer lets him.
I'm just watching an incredibly loud advert right now. There we go.
Well,
okay.
As for the other links that are posted, I recommend that you don't click on them for your own safety. And for those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language and adult themes, even though Strider is not here. Yeah, that's right. Strider is not here, not because he's getting his Irish on, but because he's getting his birthday on. And he's been getting it on all weekend long.
He's old. He's going to kill me for that.
He's probably not listening. It would hurt his head too much to hear. I got some sort of keyboard mash this morning saying that he's not going to be able to make it. Good old Google for that translator of keyboard mash. But other than that, we do have a number of things to talk about. Games that are going on, some gaming news that I want to bring up. So I'm going to jump right into it. I am going to jump right into Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 has a DLC that's coming along pretty soon. And they are saying that it's going to, one of the first maps that they're highlighting right now is called Battlefield 3 Close Quarters, which is going to be a rush-only mode. A rush mode, is that right? Actually has no rush mode, has Conquest Domination. I'm going to simplify that. I know none of that really kind of makes sense to those of you who are just casual players. They're making smaller maps, and they're going to get rid of the big map features.
Yay!
There you go. Simplified for you.
I would have preferred Rush instead of Conquest for infantry-only maps.
Well,
bad news.
Well, for those of you who don't play Battlefield 2, the difference between Rush and Conquest. Rush is where you are rushing the opponent, and you would take some objective, and then once that objective is taken, then you move on to the next, and you continuously move towards the other player, as in rush them. And Conquest is where you're... I hope I'm doing this not backwards, right, guys? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
Conquest is capture the flag. You have to capture a flag, and then you have to try and hold it while capturing the next flag, but you may not hold that one, so it's your conquest. It's a conquest of all the major points in the map.
Here's the thing I liked about Rush was the fact that if you sat in the corner camping, it didn't really... generally, your team would lose.
Yeah.
So it kind of forced people to move about. It forced people to get up and instead of just sitting there waiting for people to run past. But you know what this is? This is all the console people complained that the maps are too big and they don't like running.
Right.
So they're making small maps. I bet you that's what it is.
Exactly. It's no fun to run those larger areas with a
And
controller.
they don't have enough friends because they can only play, what is it? How many on 24 is it?
Yeah, those maps are no fun unless there's like 60 people in them.
Well,
Yeah.
Totally forgot
a bit
about
much.
We've got like 64 on the PC, haven't we? And it's I think it's like, is it 24 on the console?
I don't remember.
I won't play any map unless there's at least 20 people in it, because less than that, it's like no fun. You're just killing the same people over and over again.
Yeah, less than that is practice.
Like, yeah, there's no strategy whatsoever. Not that there's much of a strategy going on, ever, but...
I think somewhere in here I have a video of something going on. Go on, Ham.
I do like infantry-only maps. I'm not a huge fan of vehicles. Red Orchestra kind of turned me off to that. But I don't trust infantry only maps, small ones with Battlefield 3. There's too much like explosion spam.
Yeah.
Throw a grenade and you blow everyone up.
Perfect example is that Metro one when you get to there's the 2 status sets.
Oh yeah.
Because that's just if we ever get to that, I just stop playing.
Yeah,
there are some
so
maps that are 24/7 Metro. I'm like, who would torture themselves that way?
It's impossible to like play it all the way through.
At least they're not doing
Whoever gets to that one set of stairs first, they win.
Yeah.
But I have to disagree with Ham. I like the element of adding vehicles. I like being I like the idea that somebody can come in and try and dominate with a bunch of tanks, because then you have to change your strategy. You can't just play one way. And
that's a good point.
I do too, but the maps have to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just like what's that one with the one where everybody drives the tank into the hallway of death. What's that map with the market?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And everybody just drives the tank down that hallway and wedges it in between.
Yep.
That's like the grinder, that little part.
Yeah.
But you know, in the other case, you can end up with maps where everyone's trying to dominate with these helicopters and jets. And then, so what you do is you completely change your strategy. You go in there with a soul flam, so you can start targeting these air vehicles and knocking them out of the sky. And then they have to change up to so it really changes the way that the game plays. And that's one of the things that I like about Battlefield, is that you can't just go in there with a sniper rifle and play the game. Because if the other side is playing differently, you have to...
Well, you'd think that, but...
Some people do, I know.
We all know people don't do that.
No.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Do not bring back Titan mode, then I'll be happy. Make it so.
Yeah,
Somehow.
Titan... See, Han, did you play 2142?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know.
You could do it. You could just have aircraft carriers instead of like hovering ones.
Yes. You could have bunkers. That would work too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just
what you need is this large scale map that maybe you have to use vehicles or something, and you do this whole against these huge troops, and then all of a sudden you're all thrown into a bottleneck. And you're having to try and take over this little station, and it completely changes things up, and I think that's so much more exciting. I do miss that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And that again was like you very rarely got people camping, because what's the point? Yeah. So you killed 3 people, but your team lost by quite a lot, because while you were camping one of the stations to blow up the missile stations, we just went to the other one. Mm-hmm. So it really wasn't a problem.
Well, there's a number of other things that they're going with these expansion pack. The first expansion pack, I think they're calling it expansion pack, or are they calling it map?
I think
Close Quarters is the first one.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Close Quarters,
DLC, whatever you want to call it.
But is each one its own separate DLC, or are they all part of one? That's the part that I was a little unsure of.
They're all separate, because I know one is coming out soon, and then one towards the end of the year, and then one really early next year.
Right.
So just one map at a time.
Right. That's what I'm not sure of. But we have Close Quarters first, and then we have Armored Kill, which, by the way, is going to be lots of vehicles. That one's going to feature drivable tanks, ATVs, and mobile military, and that kind of stuff. So it's got to be a big map, I hope. And then finally, they have one called End Game, which is the 4th expansion pack. They're calling that one an expansion pack, so I guess each one is its own expansion pack. And it's going to retail for $15 US. So hopefully we get more than a map out of each, but yeah, that's what's going on.
That's a tough pill to swallow. Because that's what, $45?
Yeah. Yeah, if they're charging 15 for each, absolutely it's a big one. But it does add a ton of new gameplay. Usually, as long as it's more than one map. Usually these expansion packs just revive the community.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a really good job for Bad Company 2 with the Vietnam, because that that kind of revitalized our gaming on that game. For quite some time, we were playing the Vietnam sort of expansion.
I like that quite a lot, the Vietnam.
But
so many rage, but
it was a good start.
I don't know. I don't know whether I can be bothered for this.
Well, you can always switch back over to Call of Duty.
Yeah, right.
Well, speaking of which, they're
It
like
also grow
updating
wings and fly.
Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies is getting an update to their iOS version.
Yay.
They're releasing I don't know. I'm going to call this an expansion pack for the iPhone.
I was going to say the 2 Mac players that enjoy that will be really happy.
I tried, and it's just horrible. I mean, I'm showing you a screenshot of the game now. I don't know if it's too small for you to see, but what do you expect from a phone, people? A phone. I don't know what's.
I just think it's funny that they spend more time making that than a decent game.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna fall apart soon. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, very possibly with the next in the series.
I can believe it.
Yeah. All right.
What makes you say
Especially
that?
with this topic.
I'm not allowed to say yet.
Okay.
I'm right, but I can't tell you why.
Oh, just believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I did that, somebody bought a game that was in Russian.
I can tell you my prediction why. There's been a Call of Duty game, a new one released every year since 2003.
Yep.
And in some cases, multiple titles. So, it's
Can't sustain it.
yeah.
Well, it's not so much that. Well, it is that, but it's also the fact that they've released one every year and it has been exactly the same.
Right.
There is no difference between them other than they changed the models and textures.
Ever since Modern Warfare, right?
Uh-huh.
Has their profit margin gone down?
No.
No. Which is why they keep doing it.
Well, yeah, then. What's going to stop
But-
them as long as they're still making money?
But even the console players are now starting to go, wait a minute, this is the same game.
It's quite possible that if they change the game, they'll lose everyone.
Mm.
It's
Well,
one of
that's
those
the risk,
things.
isn't it? You lose your
that
core
you-
fan base if you
Yeah.
change it too much.
That's
And
right.
will you
That's
attract enough new players to make up the difference?
Mm-hmm.
That's why
I
they're
mean, I'm not
better
going
off.
to make fun of them for making money because
No.
that's cheapness. You can't go, well, I hate them because they make no. But I can hate on them for making the same thing over and over and then boxing it up and charging $60 for it.
Ideally, they would bring some innovation. But
yeah,
maybe
they don't.
if the consolers are starting to get sick of it, maybe that'll force some growth.
All right. Just sorry, I walked away. I checked on the dog, make sure he's not choking on a bone or something. Okay.
He's
Call
just yakking on a bone.
Well, yeah. So what else is going on with Activision is Call of Duty Elite PC is still in development.
There's also this.
Yeah, it's like PC. Yeah, we don't give a damn. We're just gonna have our interns work on it.
No, but what it is the fact that 90% of the PC players realize that they have all of this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
Or not so much realize, but they just have it already, whereas the console players don't. So they're like, oh, I get to join groups with my friends, and then I can see when, all my clan mates are online, and you just sit there and go, well, I can do that anyway, with Steam.
Yeah.
Or, I just talk to them like a normal human.
Well, I don't know if all PC players play like we do. We might be special.
It doesn't Elite operate through a PC anyway. You can't just pull up a page on your Xbox or PS3.
I thought it was I thought the whole thing was browser based. To be honest, like
Yeah, I
Flash
think
or
it is,
something.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it may run through the game though.
It's like
Not
Battlefield's
100% sure.
Battlelog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe they developed it in using some sort of a Flash export tool. The same kind of thing they use in Unreal or something like that. So.
I'd hope so, because otherwise console players still have to go to the PC anyway.
That would be funny. That would, yeah. Surely not.
Okay. Now we're not. Well, good luck to them on all that. Yeah, more of that stupidness. Dead Ops. Okay, that picture. And this was okay. The Walking Dead gets its first teaser trailer for Monday's gameplay unveil, and unfortunately, the trailer tells us nothing. I'm watching this trailer this morning, which I'm playing here for you now. It reminds me of wow, I'm having memory issues this morning. Dead Island. There you go. It kind of reminds me of what Dead Island would have been if they had less creative people creating those videos.
Well, no, this is being done by Telltale, so it's going to be just point and click adventure.
Then why is the camera looking around the room like you're going to get up and look around? I understand point and click is Telltale's signature thing.
Yeah.
So I still don't know what to expect from them. I don't know.
No,
Obviously, nothing is dynamic.
Particularly the way The Walking Dead is in the TV show. I don't think there's going to be a lot of zombie killage.
No.
It's just going to be like, run away every time.
They put out like a weird sort of interview video. It was weird. It was like done like a TV show, but it's like you all are just interviewing the staff, and you work here. But they talked about it and said that it's going to be it's not going to focus on the characters in the comic book or the TV show. It's going to be a different person altogether, and you're like an escaped convict, or not really an escaped convict, but like I don't know, you were charged for murder, something weird like that. So
okay,
it's supposed to be a heavy focus on story.
There you go. So you're not going to be doing much zombie killing.
No. It's all about the decisions you make.
I decide I want to kill zombies. That's my decision.
Yeah, I don't know if those two things are going to mix so well.
No.
No, not
zombies aren't so good with the dialogue,
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And if you've ever actually watched the Walking Dead TV show at the moment, you'll know that it's boring as hell.
Yes, at the moment is a very good keyword there, because I thought it started out very good, and then it dropped.
Yeah, it did.
I haven't watched any of the second season.
They deviated from the comic book a little bit too much. I mean, you have to, obviously, because it's a TV show as opposed to a comic book, but
they went drama.
They've just,
friggin' writers.
Stuck on a farm for 6 months.
I just read the most recent comic book. I finally read 1 through the most recent last night when I was kind of drunk and before I passed out, and it's pretty nice. So I'm up to date on the comic book, but I've only seen the first season of the TV show.
Yeah, that's the
best
season.
Which was good.
I think the TV show did the same thing that Lost did, which is like the first season was good and interesting and well-paced, and then they had a hit, so they slowed everything down for the second season so they could stretch the hit out, but then by doing that, I lost interest.
Yes.
Same thing happened with Lost when they got to like season 3 and they were really huge. They slowed everything down. The pacing of the show was like horrible, and I just was like, I can't watch an hour of this for like so little is actually happening in the plot.
Too many shows are doing that. I agree.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the guy that plays Rick in the Walking Dead TV show is British. As in, he's got a British accent. That, like, whatever Tennessee accent he does isn't as real. That surprised me, because he sound no, but I didn't realise, because he sounds really good. It's just like, oh.
Yeah. Alright, also coming up is, not coming up, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, I should say. They're following, I think they pulled out the roadmap from their first game, and they said, okay, that was a good one, so let's go make sure that we go for 5 to 8 years again, and
that is Butter sparking. At what? I do not know.
That's a Chihuahua bark. So S.T.A.L.K.E.R was supposed to be out before last Christmas or something like that. And now S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, I keep saying S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
I thought they had given up on S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2.
They did.
Hell no.
Then suddenly they got a new infusion of money, I thought, or something, and the new infusion probably says, yeah, this isn't working, we need to change things up again. And I think that's exactly what happened with the first game, is that they had investors, and then they had new investors and new publishers, and things kept changing, and...
It's the Russian mafia.
Yeah, that's what.
Maybe.
That's what I was about to say.
Here's the game you're going to make, comrade.
It's called money laundering. We infuse our money
The hell are
into
you
the
working
game,
at? Let's go see.
and it never is
Yeah.
made. Yeah.
The original Stalkers they didn't resemble anything that was promised when they first debuted the game. And things changed, but there was so much that they couldn't get right, and it was still a buggy game. And
I mean, Stride will be the one to kind of tell you about this, but I mean, I don't speak Russian.
No.
It's one thing.
Well, Strider said that once all the patches were out, it was a good game.
Yeah, he did. He did actually.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, too bad Strider's not here. I wanted to talk a little bit, I guess, about Star Wars: The Old Republic. They.
I'm here.
You're here. Yes, you are. You can certainly fill in.
I want to talk about Star Wars. I like Star Wars. Did you mention Star Wars? I like Star Wars.
They say they're going on with these new class stories, that they're going to expand them. What we're talking about is there's different classes inside of the game where you can play like different kind of characters, and they're saying that depending on how you play them out, that they're going to make a difference in how your character evolves or something. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Welshy, have you gone into this yet, or?
No. What it is they've in about next month's time they've got a massive patch coming out.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's like 7 or 8 pages long of notes. And they're changing a lot of stuff. One of the things they're bringing in is 2 new sort of species as well, so you can choose when you make a character, you can be slightly different again. There's literally a huge. I could sit here all day and tell you new stuff.
That's brilliant, because then it's like, oh, I want to start a new character that's one of the new species.
Exactly. And then you're back to the start, and you're playing it all through again. It's so just like, wow.
I haven't played it like a week, and just talking about it, I'm like antsy. Got like itches for Star Wars.
Yeah, they're giving you stuff like you got like a space cow to ride about on, and there's like they're giving you a taunt. You can have a little pet tauntaun now as well. There's tons of stuff. Some of it is ridiculous, but there's a huge amount of things, and I think that's what they're getting at. Is they're changing a lot of stuff up. They're putting some new missions in. They're changing the way
it is new stuff though. They're
well.
not just like adding some new sparkly effects and then republishing it, making you all pie again.
Kind of,
George
but
Lucas.
It's not like it's not DLC, and there's no extra payment for it. It's just a patch that they're.
That's because you're already paying $15 a month.
Yeah, that's true, but so I think that's what they're getting at, is that the fact that they're doing that, and they keep putting out these weird like stories that somebody's obviously written that's like meant to be in the universe of Star Wars, and it's just like, just tell me what you're doing. Stop employing somebody to write these things.
I can say,
yeah.
As a newcomer to the game, the way the story works, and the sort of decisions that you can make during the story, the way those things play out is the best I've ever seen any MMO ever. It's beautiful.
There you go, Phil. It's just you that doesn't like it.
It bores me. I get into there and I get excited for the gameplay, and then I get stuck in these bits of story that I have to skip, or I'm playing some story and then this, I just feel like one thing interrupts the other. I can't concentrate on them both in this game.
I'll give you that the cutscenes can be a little bit too long sometimes. Like the conversations are just like, oh, just shut up and tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I start doing that, I feel like I'm wasting my $15.
But at the same time, though, if you were playing and you really just ran up and they were like, okay, now go here, you would.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, can't you put a bit more effort into it? I know.
Then you'd be all be like, I want some story.
We're such a ridiculously hard crowd to please. It's unbelievable. It's like, it doesn't matter what they do, I will bitch about something. So.
In the end, I don't. To me, it's not worth $15 a month. I would be on there playing if it wasn't
because
subscription.
You're a Star Trek fan, so you're not kind of.
If I was a Star Trek fan, wouldn't I be playing Star Trek?
You never were Star Wars.
Not necessarily, but just the fact that it's Star Wars is kind of subconsciously turning you off it.
Well, I like the movies.
Mm.
I don't care about the lore. I enjoyed the movies. But maybe it is. Maybe it is subconsciously turning me off. I keep falling back to the idea that it's $15 a month. I can't get over that fact.
That's just something I pretend doesn't happen. Because if I think about it, it'll just. I
haven't subscribed to a game since since EverQuest was originally released. For those first 6 months, I subscribed to EverQuest, and that was it.
I personally think a game should be either or. Either it's subscription and you just pay a subscription, or it's $60 or whatever and you just pay that. But to do both it was a hard sell for me. You guys had to beg.
And now you're all good and addicted.
On the other hand, the TERA, the game that I've been playing in beta, TERA is going to be subscription, and I might actually pay for it.
That good?
I don't know. I'm really enjoying this game. Now, I do like true MMOs, and this thing is the kind of MMO that you feel like you're more immersed in. Sure, you've got the same kind of almost top-ish down third-person look, and you're maybe casting some spells or shooting some weapons or something like that, which you're still doing in Star Wars. However, in this case, if somebody tries to hit me, I can dodge it in real time, not like roll of the dice, kind of my turn, your turn kind of thing. And it added something new. It added something new. TERA is actually developed on the Unreal Engine, which is pretty neat. A full MMO on the Unreal Engine. But you know what might also be working is I have somebody else to play along with. I know you guys aren't going to get involved in this game just because you got Star Wars. Why would you go to this?
Yeah.
I think that's the reason.
Right.
But I do have my brother signing up, so I have
I'm invested at least $75 into Star Wars at this point, so...
I've almost invested an entire week's worth of playing time.
Yeah, you say that, but then that number keeps going up.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah, well, but that's good, though. That means you're enjoying it and getting your money's worth.
I haven't spent any money on Star Wars yet, and I got like a 6-month subscription to Rift, which I play every now and then. So I'm not paying every month, but I also don't feel guilty about trying out new stuff because of it.
Right.
Then there's another MMO that's about to hit, and that's going to be Guild Wars 2. Now I don't know if Guild Wars 2 is going to be free or subscription.
It's free. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it.
Guild Wars 1 was free.
In other words, you buy the game and subscribe. Eurogamer that was like, is it going to? And he was kind of very vague, like, maybe.
Well, I know when Guild Wars 2 was sort of first announced, they like flat out said it's not going to be subscription based.
Right.
You're just going to pay for it, just like the original one, but things change, so.
Things can change, yeah. And I don't hold it against them. It's not always their fault. Well, there's a beta event that's scheduled to come up within this month. I may or may not be in it. I don't know. Nobody really knows at this point. But you can head over to the Facebook page, and if you like them, then you can watch this video that shows you some of the gameplay, which does look kind of different compared to the first Guild Wars, but also reminds me of it. I don't know if it's going to be a great game or not. I have played some of the PvP. I found it interesting. I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm going to buy it. I don't know.
It's because they haven't seen capes yet, that's why.
Yeah, they released this collector's edition, just like they do with most games, and there's no cape in the damn thing. Instead you get this figurine and a book and the DVDs. I can't wear those.
Well, you can, but...
but it might smart. Yeah. Yeah, what are you getting? You're getting this special skills and a 10-inch figurine of one of the enemy creatures.
It's figurines. You're gonna be all over that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got figurines up there, and They're unexciting. The most exciting one up there is the motorcycle.
I don't collect figurines, but the one they have for this one looks pretty cool.
For which one? Star Wars?
For Guild Wars too.
Oh, for Guild Wars? It does look cool, but it's one of the enemy creatures, and that kind of is... It's like one of those creatures that you run into all the time, so it's not really...
Well, I think it's supposed to be a class.
Is it? Because I thought that was one of the bad guys. I don't know if you guys remember, because Welshy and GameKat used to play along with us, where it looks like an oversized minion.
Well, in the original Guild Wars, so you got the main antagonist, the Char, and in Guild Wars, you can play them. They're a playable race now. But
no, I didn't know that.
Oh, you know that? Okay. All right.
All I remember from playing Guild Wars was Foyle taking his clothes off at any opportunity. Capes and muffins. No, not muffins, brownies.
Brownies, yeah. Cookies and brownies.
Cookies and brownies. That's all I remember from that game.
The cookies, the cookies
to put you into a sugar coma in order to get you to play.
Don't think I was like putting on cookies and running around on camera or something.
No,
that didn't get that weird.
Welshy to play.
Yeah, that you should do.
But yeah, if you're in town and you're getting bored, then you just start doing silly things, and that's one of the things I was doing.
Well, you do. Because you have that option in Star Wars, and I've never done it. I've never felt the need to.
I beat the second expansion pack factions for Guild Wars, and it was kind of weird when it was all over. Like when you defeat the final boss of the expansion pack, like credits start rolling on the screen, and it was like a whole ending movie, and it just felt kind of weird.
That is weird.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't get that one.
Oh my god! I actually reached the end. What?
Yeah.
This is an MMO. This isn't meant to have an end.
Hey, there's no subscription either, so.
Yeah.
There might be an end. Here's one that doesn't have an end. It's called Second Life. It's getting its second wind.
Doesn't have a point either.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It doesn't have a point. Second Life is one of those things where you just exist in a virtual world. That's it.
I like that. You just. So what's the game about? Well, you just exist.
Is it really a game?
What do I do? You kind of live your life. Like real life?
like my real life? Huh?
That's why I stopped playing Sims ages ago, because I was like, you know what, I have to manage all this shit in reality. I don't want to do it for some whiny video game character.
I don't know, the one time I played Sims, I just set everything on fire and drowned them all.
That's kind of
maybe that says something about me, but no.
Serial killer.
Morphus says it does have a point to make money. And you know what, you can actually make real money in this game, but you can do it in real life too. And actually, you can make real money in this game by making things and selling them. And I think there's some sort of way to convert it to real money. And
so it is literally just like being in real life.
Yes, it is.
Except choppier.
Yeah, I know. Every video I see is choppy.
Less frames per second.
God's a better level designer.
No matter what hardware I tried to play this game on, it was just unbearably slow.
Wow. I don't remember that. I don't remember it being slow.
Yeah.
But I remember it being boring.
It looks pretty boring.
I do remember the boredom.
Yeah. Alright, so what else is going on is there's been some awards going off in the UK, I think. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts. BAFTA Video Game Awards. They were held in March, and they have the winners were announced, and the best game is Portal 2. They've announced that the very best game is Portal 2.
Yeah, apparently so.
But when you ask the public what the best game is, they have stated that Battlefield 3 is the public's choice.
This is for 2011?
2012.
Well, yeah, it's
up to March.
Through 2011, yeah. It says 2012 on it, but it was for last year, essentially.
Right,
okay.
Right, okay.
What is
Well,
interesting?
that's because they like Stephen Merchant, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Merchant.
that's pretty much the only reason. Yeah. What is pretty interesting though, if you look down all those categories, I don't see Call of Duty anywhere.
True. It's not banned over there, right?
No, we just
No, I
kind of
don't think
realized
so.
a little bit more that it sucks.
Batman Arkham City is there under Best Action Game.
Hmm.
Skyrim in there?
No.
No.
Well, what are the
Why
cutoff
not?
dates? Because maybe Call of Duty
Yeah,
was
good
for
point.
2010.
Well,
Oh,
Call
no,
of Duty came out.
Modern Warfare 2 was out in 2011, wasn't it?
I don't
Didn't
know.
it come out
Well,
just like Battlefield came out like maybe a month or two before whatever you call that, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
But maybe that's when the cutoff was
I see your
for
point.
whatever their dates are.
I don't know.
I couldn't explain it to you. I don't know. Welshy
just
might.
saying,
I don't
you
think he
know,
understands
that it
it
might
either.
not necessarily be UK intellectual superiority that left out Call of Duty.
It is. I'm just trying to see if I can find
Whatever.
if there was nominees.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that kind of stuff. Just the winners I found announced, and I didn't see anything else. All right. Well, I found this interesting topic that I thought you would like. It turns out that women who game end up having more sex.
Against their will, or
I don't know. It said that 55% of online gamers in the study were having sex. 45% weren't, I
at the
guess.
time?
I don't know. Maybe they're all, signed up for that game horror site. And
Oh,
to get all the Game Crush employees.
yes, that's it. It kind of makes it's probably easier, They've got a desperate community out there to go after.
Yes. I also noticed though it does say on their computers, social networking sites, and mobile devices. So,
Well,
Angry
social games-
Birds
Oh.
and Farmville. 'Cause that's a
well
game,
then-
apparently.
Well, then that includes all women, doesn't it? Because they all play some sort of a game.
With your emotions.
Yeah. You won't find a majority of online gamers clubbing in Manhattan. These women are older, and most live in the South.
See, now I'm like, well, who are they interviewing?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I don't ever trust these kind of things anyway because it's
the
all
South is in like Georgia, South Carolina, like the American
That's-
South they're talking about.
Yeah, I
Isn't that
figured.
where they have where Mormon country and stuff? And
Mormon country's Utah.
all right.
Utah and Idaho. That doesn't make a lot of sense based on
No.
what I know of those demographics.
All right.
Just shows
I'll-
you games are tools of the devil.
Be in Kentucky in about 3 weeks, and I could tell you there's not a whole hell of a lot of female gamers in Kentucky. Although
Man,
the
those that do
one that I
game.
did meet met her husband in World of Warcraft and got married to
Oh,
the
God.
Death March.
See, that's
so.
who they're at. That's who they're calling.
Not gonna comment.
And maybe this whole survey was done online. I mean, that really narrows your
Yeah.
who you're choosing at the same time. Obviously,
I
these people
never
online.
trust surveys just because you can easily fix them to whatever you need just by asking the right people.
All right.
Yeah, you can, because like I could go, well, all right, we'll do a survey on who likes rap music, and I go to an old people's home and go, do you like rap music? And they go, no. So then you get like 90% of people we interview don't like rap music.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Windows 8 is about to be released soon. And somebody, actually I think this was Chris Perillo, if you happen to know names. I'm not sure if that's who this is or not. But anyway, this person installed one of those preview versions of Windows 8 on their computer, and they wanted to say, you know what, a majority of people out there are going to be using the computer are not necessarily computer savvy. They just look at things and click on them, hence the Mac. Well, Windows 8 thinks that they're trying to do something very similar by making things very easy to get around and use. And this is a video of an older gentleman trying to use Windows 8. And this is, I think...
this just sounds mean.
First time. This is Windows 8, Dad. That's it. That's Windows 8.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah, but if you watch it, he actually seems to know what he's doing. Because like, oh, this is what I had. This is similar to what I had before.
Yeah, but it's
not like he's just a confused old man.
Correct.
Windows Explorer. That's just like click it. Oh,
it's not like he's like, well, what do I do? You know, picking up the mouse and going, what do I do? What do I do with this?
Now how do I go back?
You figure it out.
So how do I go back?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just him. It's like, how do I go back?
Right.
And if you actually look on videos, I was like, actually, wait, how do I go back?
So he spends the next 4 minutes trying to figure out how to go back.
Oh my God.
That's what this video is.
And I looked it up, and they're getting rid of the start menu button.
That's correct.
Understand.
Or there will be a button there, but it won't. It'll.
Button,
yeah.
that is going bye-bye.
Oh, because you're launching Internet Explorer.
Yep.
Okay.
And people have been kind of figuring out ways to set up little shortcuts and things to get it back, but it's not actually there anymore.
Yep.
I've got the Consuming Preview installed in the virtual machine, and it is not a delight to use.
No. It's like trying to use the phone version on your computer, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a mouse, it's just confusing.
I don't know.
If you're not using Windows 8 with a tablet or touchscreen of some kind, I don't see how you would enjoy using it. Oh my God!
I'm just going on the whole Windows make a good one, and they come up with some new ideas, and then the next one is the fix for that, and then.
Now how do I close that?
It's like Star Trek movies. All the odd-numbered ones are the good ones.
Well, no, but like XP was awesome, and then they brought out Vista, and it was a god-awful mess.
The even-number ones are the good ones.
No menu.
Sorry.
There's no start menu. There's no place to.
See?
You're on your own.
And that's what Windows is going to tell you, the consumer.
But this is not the final version, so.
Yeah, but this is what Microsoft thinks is the final version.
I like that. This is what Microsoft thinks. Yes, it is. Good God.
Yeah. And this is one of the things that worries me, is if you can't figure this out, imagine all the other obstacles you have to overcome. And there will be other obstacles.
Here's a challenge for you. Try to figure out how to shut down a machine.
That's what I'm trying to. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. That's bizarre.
That took me a good 5 minutes.
We don't. Oh, you wanted to turn this off? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's why there's videos. That's why this video is about that thing. You know, I got a plug in the wall. That's my button to turn it off.
Yeah, that's gonna help. Yeah.
I can't let you do that, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Just come up. You can't turn it off. That wasn't part of the deal.
You'll make me just sit here and keep trying?
I'm trying to prove a point.
I think you proved it. I can't find it.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's not. I'm looking for what I'm looking for when I drag this around is I'm looking for a hidden menu that'll come up.
That's what I mean. It's not like he has no idea about computers or anything. He actually knows what he's doing, and it's just like I still can't find it. I don't think he's going to be alone. It's going to be like people like us. They're just going to be like, what the hell is this?
And Paul Storm, a lot of people still use XP because some of the programs that they use require it. Plus, the companies have so many PCs that they don't want to spend the licensing for the complete update. But
plus, it costs you a huge amount of money to retrain stuff.
Yeah, Windows 7 is a good operating system. I do like it.
Yeah.
Now, who's put this
I was
out?
going to say now that I think about it,
They trying to
if I had
dog
not
Mac?
read like tech blogs and different things, if I didn't follow the blogs, I wouldn't know where anything was either. I'd be just like this guy.
I love that this is still. We've been talking about this for quite a
And he's
while.
still just like,
Still
sitting there
like,
scratching his head, like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
what to
unfortunately,
expect.
it's because they want you to have your mobile device and they want you to have it on your Windows phone and be going like this.
Or tablet, yep.
Yeah.
Or your Microsoft Surface.
Surface, yeah. Oh, I remember those. Oh god, that giant dust box that was like the height of a coffee table.
Yeah. Well, if you take a look at what they're actually working on in their labs, everything has to do with cameras and virtual, throwing your arms in the air, waving like you just don't care, and
doing the okey dokey, turn it off. I just want to turn my computer on off. I don't know. They're going on about how this is the new advanced technology and it's going to make, and it's just dumbing everything down.
Yeah.
which is what I don't like about Macs. I don't like that I can't get into it and set things up the way I want them to be.
What's interesting is if you talk to somebody who's not sort of what I would call an advanced PC user, so like people like us who do, if you talk to somebody that but uses a computer, they can, or Windows anyway, they're pretty good at, if something goes wrong, whatever, generally speaking, they can figure it out or get around it somehow. Whereas if you talk to Mac people, it's
I
just
gotta
like,
go to the App Store.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. My Mac doesn't break. What are you on about? You don't get viruses on Mac. I can tell you do.
Oh well.
And I think Windows 8 is gonna make that even worse.
If there was more of a support for Linux, I'd jump over to that.
That
was
then
easy
even
to
that
use.
though, again, it's like people don't know that it's not. It's not in mainstream, as it were. So it's like even it's just gonna be a ton of people who all they need to know how to do is touch the screen at right places.
Yeah. But I wouldn't use Ubuntu, by the way, if you guys think I would. No. That one has too many restrictions itself.
Ubuntu?
They don't want you to log in.
To use Ubuntu? That's all I ever think about now, is that Matrix thing.
I don't know what we're going to end up doing with the future of PCs. Hopefully this frustrates enough people that they decide to... This becomes the Windows ME of the new generation.
Or the Vista, where it's just like, what were you thinking? Seriously?
That's right, Vista wasn't long ago.
Their hope is just that by the time Windows 8 comes out, by the time this holiday season comes around, that tablets will be more popular than people wanting laptops for new PCs. But they've really abandoned the desktop.
Yeah.
I suppose we are thinking of it as, from our point of view, which is we like to game, we like to program, so we need all that stuff we have, whereas I guess people who've just got laptops because they just want to go on Facebook and
what about every
watch
company
YouTube
out there?
all day.
Every company out there is what? Stuck. They can't get Windows 8 then.
Yeah. Anything that I mean, although generally speaking, you're not. If they're still running XP, the chances of them upgrading to 8 is not very likely.
Except that XP is no longer supported and may end up with some
that's
security
true.
flaws.
Or I'm still waiting for the the shut off signal from Microsoft. Like, you know what, we're done with XP, and so are you. Button
The kill
press.
switch.
Yeah.
All right.
You just get a blue screen saying, "Time to upgrade." Wait, what?
So, all right, that's it. That's all the topics I have for this week. I don't know if you guys want to go on about anything else. Any questions? Comments? Thoughts?
Diablo 3's release date has been announced. So, May 15th.
Diablo, you say?
Yeah, Diablo 3.
But that's a strategy type game, right?
No, it's an MMO. It's like the original MMO, so.
Diablo? I don't know.
Well, not really MMO, but yeah. I say MMO, it wasn't really an MMO. You buy yourself.
I've often seen it described as the genre of benching crawler. you click on enemies until they die.
So it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, but you don't aim. You just, you take the mouse cursor.
Yeah, I know. It's like top down, isn't it? And it's
Yes, it is.
Star Wars is like that.
You
just highlight one and just keep clicking until he's dead, and then highlight the next one and click, click on that.
Yeah, it's similar. It would be similar. I've got
the beta, and it feels like the Bejeweled of action games. like it's so casual.
Did I read somewhere that there's not going to be player versus player support?
Not when it first comes out.
Yeah, that's gonna make a lot of people happy.
It has not been implemented yet. You're absolutely right. They stopped integrating it. Okay.
I mean, I'm not a huge MMO fan, as you know. I mean, I'm playing Star Wars, but I think that's more just because it's
Star Wars. We know.
Yeah. But I know. I remember
just gonna get a brown paper tag and draw like R2D2 on it and charge you $20.
Oh, and I'd buy it as well.
And tell you it's a limited edition.
Yeah. Well, it is. You only made one, right?
Exactly.
I think if you like both Bejeweled and Call of Duty, Diablo 3 might be for you.
Alright, so anything else going on out there? Oh, we posted something on MODSonline.com. Wargamers, is that it? Warmongers. Warmongers Online is a company based out of, well, near LA. I forget where exactly near LA that they are based, but they're looking for level designers. So if you're familiar with how to make a level in, say, Radiant, that's not the tool they're using, but if you can do that, then you can learn these tools. And perhaps you want to let them know that you are interested, and they'll continue the process from there to see if you want to get hired. Just head over to MODSonline.com and check out the news articles. I put it in one of the featured articles there.
And I got the link here somewhere.
One of our listeners, one of our occasional listeners, but one of our longtime members of Mods Online is working over at that studio now.
Nice.
He was working at Treyarch, I think?
Yes, you are correct. Yep, he was a level designer there. CW? Who's CW? Isn't that a really bad television network? The CW? Alright, so I guess we got nothing else to go on about, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Nope.
Then I guess I can wrap things up here. I want to thank our hosts for taking a time out to chat today on what is... happy birthday, Strider, first of all. And happy St. Paddy's Day. And, yeah, so GameKat.
Oh, it's Mother's Day here as well. Oops.
Oh.
Happy, will be going to the store later?
No, I did that yesterday.
Cheers to all UK moms.
I don't know why the day's different. I don't understand. Like, because Father's Day is the same. Like, in the US. I don't understand why it's a different day.
Hallmark wants to spread their profits out.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so thank you, GameKat, for joining us today.
Anytime.
Welshy, thanks for joining us and for posting the show notes as we went along.
No problem.
Ham, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay, so finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com, and the subscribing members of MODSonline.com for making this show possible. And until next week, everyone, get out there, play some games, have fun. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to MODSonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
I can turn the dial up on it and it doesn't catch fire as easily.
as easily.